You know, I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, but I have to be real with myself. I'm kind of a presentation guy. I'm kind of a bottle whore. And what does that mean? That simply means that sometimes I'll buy something just because it looks cool. Not always, you know, a lot of times, especially now, you know, that I've really accumulated a lot of things. Most of the times I am going to be smarter about my purchases, and I'll base a purchase less off of the look of the bottle and more so on the actual scent itself. You know, taking a look at the note breakdown, just kind of doing my own research and seeing if it's going to be something I'm going to like. Given that I have a YouTube channel and I like to keep you guys up to date on all the new releases, those get bought whether I think the bottle is cool, ugly, and everything in between, and they get bought regardless if I think I'm going to like the scent or not, because I'm here to just kind of tell you what I think about it. But when it comes to more personal purchases, things that I'm not necessarily buying for the channel, but just kind of for my own collection, you know, a lot of times at one point I did base them off of looks of the bottle alone, off presentation. Back when I first got started, if I didn't like the way the bottle looked, I would not buy it, regardless if I thought I was going to enjoy the scent or not. It's pretty stupid, but it's just kind of how I was. I've grown out of that for the most part, but I found this interesting here, and today I want to go over 10 killer fragrances with some kind of cheap, crappy presentation. And I do this as a way to kind of help you out, and also as a PSA. If you see any of these bottles and maybe you agree that they look a little bit cheap, you know, they just don't look all that special, and maybe you're thinking, you know, that doesn't look good, I'm not going to try it. I want to encourage you to try it anyway, because even though these bottles look a little bit kind of ugly on the outside, on the inside they're really, really good. And hey, at the end of the day, you've heard it a million times, what matters is on the inside. Let's get into it. First up, honestly, the inspiration for this video, Davidoff Zeno. You know, this is one that I really do enjoy for myself, but every time I look at it, I'm like, man, that is one ugly bottle. It just looks, you know, old and dingy, but not only that, the cap is super cheap. There is nothing good about the bottle, okay? There's nothing good about this presentation at all. It is just old school and boring looking. Now granted, the scent is an aromatic fougere. It's going to have an older school smell to it, but even beyond that, man, it just doesn't look good, right? Kind of hard to read there on the front. Doesn't show up all that well. The font, everything about it, just there's nothing attractive about this. So when you see pictures of this, which also ironically, most of the pictures of this bottle on Google Images sucks as well. There's just nothing good visually about any of this in person or online. You see it and you're going to be like, that doesn't look very good. But when you smell it, you're like, oh wait, that's actually really good. Only if you like aromatic fougères. This one is patchouli, lavender, rosewood is some of the main notes. A lot of people may smell this and think that it smells dated, and that's 100% normal because it does. But if you're someone who likes this sort of thing, you can agree that for the price that this one comes in at, it smells really, really solid and is a really nice kind of older school barbershop type of scent with a really heavy, strong patchouli note that you can't get past. And yes, it also is worth noting that this is a cheaper scent, for sure, no doubt about it. I'm not expecting a Roja Dove quality presentation here for this one, but I've seen fragrances in this price range that, in my opinion, have better presentation, and even if they would have just changed up the color scheme a little bit and maybe made these two different from each other, then maybe we'd be onto something, but it just kind of is what it is. Next up, Pepe Jeans Celebrate. So this one just came to light here recently, I believe. I think it's been out for, what, a year or two, something along those lines, but just kind of now started getting some hype. And it smells really, really solid. Impressive, honestly. Again, you know, kind of the whole point of this video. When you see this, you may not be expecting a whole lot. At least I didn't, you know. I have to admit, when I saw this one for the first time, looking at pictures of the bottle, I'm like, you know, that really does not look appealing to me. Nothing about this screams, oh, I want this in my collection. You know, it doesn't look nice sitting on the shelf. Granted, it doesn't necessarily matter. Again, what matters is on the inside. But if you're someone with a bit of a smaller collection and all of your stuff is going to be on display, this is kind of going to be sticking out like a sore thumb. It's just going to be weird, you know. But comparing this next to like a classy Dolce & Gabbana bottle or something like that, there's going to be quite a big difference. Yes, it is cheaper, but same thing here. Just the whole color scheme and texture and everything about it is just, for me personally, a bit strange. Tonka bean, cinnamon, and cacao are some of the main notes. Also, a nice black currant note up top in the opening. So it's kind of fruity-ish in a way, fruity sweetness, bit of a spiciness, a creamy woodiness. It's, again, very good. For fall, I can't wait to wear it. I really can't. It's another one that's going to be on the more affordable side, so again, you can't knock it too hard, but there also are better looking bottles in this price range for sure. But hey, at the end of the day, it's not really my style, and if it's not your style either, the scent might be, so don't sleep on it. Next up, we have Zegna Acqua di Bergamotto. So I tried my hardest to find my bottle, and I can't, so I apologize for that. Here it is. Now, this one, the reason why it's being placed in this video is because it's a stock bottle. Actually, let me show you what the bottle looks like. So imagine this, but clear and with, I believe, a silver cap. Basically what I'm saying is it's a stock bottle. They're using the same exact bottle as these Lalique Encre Noir fragrances. This one is not painted, but it's just a black colored glass with a kind of faux wooden cap. The Zegna Acqua di Bergamotto is a clear glass with, again, I believe a silver cap. You can see it up over here. When you get something like that, that's basically using a stock bottle, and it's very similar to other bottles that you own, you know, what can you say about that? That's just kind of a little on the cheaper side. Having something look exactly alike from a completely different brand, it's kind of weird. People are probably going to get upset saying that I'm hating on these fragrances and these fragrance brands. I'm really not. I'm including them in this video and saying that they smell really good. I'm just saying that the actual packaging is so-so. Regardless, Acqua di Bergamotto is a really nice bergamot scent, bergamot florals, other citruses, some woods. It's just nice for summertime. It's very affordable. I think $20-ish range, which ironically is kind of where those Lalique fragrances come in. So that's just kind of where that one fits in terms of pricing. Again, it's not that it's terrible. It's just that it's sharing a bottle with some other fragrances and probably more than just those Laliques as well. Next up, we have Ferragamo Oud. So I've talked about this one a little bit, and I don't believe I've seen this one talked about too much of a crazy amount. It's, you know, it's not terrible. The cap would not want to be trusted by picking it up. That's not a huge deal. You can't really necessarily judge it just off of that alone. So do keep in mind that this will come apart there. A lot do, but also a lot don't. You know, you can pick a lot up by the cap, and if you know for sure, you know your bottle, a lot of them you can get away with and never have an issue. But that's something where you just have to know the bottle. This is not one of those. You know, it's got a cool design to it, a nice gradient. Bottle has like a weird curve to it. There's chrome on the top. That's not going to pass the smudge test for sure. That's just awful, as you can see there. I'm not judging it off of that either. I don't know. Here's my main issue is that on discounters, this one's riding at about 50 bucks. On eBay, for whatever reason, it's like $70 last time I saw. So that's a good amount of money. Even $50 is a good amount of money. You're kind of riding with some of the you know, Versace's and Dolce & Gabbanas and those mid-range priced designer brands since, and a lot of those have 10 times better presentation than this one, at least in my opinion. You know, cap just isn't really all that. Atomizer's just decent. I don't think this one exudes as much class as I think the scent does. You know, the scent is very classy. It's got rum, tobacco, obviously oud. It's kind of spicy, oriental, not too strong of an oud. It's a nice wintertime masculine scent. I just think the presentation, especially given the price, is, you know, a little bit lackluster. Let's keep it moving. Up next, 24 Ice Gold. So this is a citrusy, floral, woody scent. Pretty standard stuff. Easily unisex. Women can wear it, men can wear it. It doesn't really matter. If you like it, you can wear it because there's nothing necessarily masculine. There's nothing necessarily feminine. You know, it has a nice balance of a whole bunch of different stuff going on. The bottle, I'm not impressed with. It looks better in pictures, I think. And believe it or not, there are some good pictures of it. Some stock pictures that discounters use aren't so good. Main issue is just the cap. It's a press fit, but it's a very weak press fit. The atomizer, not really that great. You can feel when you push down, it's kind of gritty. It's not smooth, okay? This is going to sound like I'm nitpicking, but I'm just kind of being honest here. The bottle has some heft to it, which is a plus, but, you know, this lettering is going to wear off easily. I don't know. I'm just not overly impressed with it. And it's affordable, but it's not super affordable. Like, it's not a $20 scent. You know, I believe it's around 40-ish last time I saw. Kind of goes up and down all over the place. And at that point, again, you're competing with some other stuff, which kind of have a better scent and also have a better presentation. Up next, HiM by Hanae Mori. So what do we got? This is the Eau de Toilette. Sorry, awkward pause there. There's an Eau de Toilette and an Eau de Parfum. So this is, again, the EDT. And here's why this is special, is that this smells very similar to Gucci Pour Homme 2, which is the famous tea fragrance. And just like what Gucci is known for, everyone say it with me, discontinuing their best fragrances, right? They've done it so many times, and that's another one that they completely axed off. And it is, quite honestly, just plain stupid. Even stuff like Gucci Intense Oud, which I own a bottle of, which didn't really get hyped that much, but is really good, discontinue that one too. Kind of smells like Black Afghano by Nasamato. It was, at the time, a more affordable version of that. Now that it's discontinued, it's probably more expensive than Nasamato. But again, another great one that they just killed off. That one probably for sales, I can see that. But stuff like Gucci Envy and Gucci Pour Homme 1 and 2, they were selling like crazy. Why discontinue it? It just makes no sense. Luckily, we have Hanae Mori HiM to have our back here. And while this is not anywhere near the quality of that Gucci, it smells good. One thing I absolutely hate, though, is the bottle. Cap, again, another press fit, which does not hold its own. You get some wonderful stickers on the back, so that's cool. Nice barcode, and can't even see it. It's so ugly the camera won't even show it. Barcode, sticker with some other safety information. And then on the bottom, you have another sticker with your Eau de Toilette. I wouldn't even be sad if I dropped this. Eau de Toilette and bottle size, more flammable, do not drink information on there. So yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, not really a fan. The atomizer as well is also just kind of a stock standard atomizer. Gets the job done, but nothing crazy. Again, phenomenal scent, especially for the price. You know, it doesn't really come across too cheap, but the bottle definitely does. Let's keep this going. Up next, Guess Seductive Homme Noir. So I really like this one. It's got nutmeg, cinnamon, apple. So it's a warm spicy, and it's of course a designer warm spicy. So it's still gonna have a playful, mass-pleasing, just easy to get along with type of smell. The thing with it is the bottle. It just doesn't really have a whole lot going on. Not that it needs to be. There's some very minimalistic bottles that look fantastic. But first off, you have this texture on the bottom. Don't like it. You know, it doesn't really help with, you know, sliding. Thing's still going to slide around on a surface easily. It just kind of, I don't know, is a little bit strange feeling. The cap is a click-on, and you can pick this up by the cap, no issues. You could shake it around pretty good, and it's not going to give on you, so that's not the problem. The problem is it just kind of goes on, and it can easily just go like that. I mean, you can literally almost, yeah, I mean, you can do that. You can turn that thing, right? The more you open it up and the more you wear it, the looser it gets. See that? It just flings around. What they could have done, like a lot of fragrance brands do, is just put, you know, a little keyway, a little notch right there on the collar, have it line up with, you know, a little spot in the cap, and then it clicks on, and then it stays put. They didn't do that. Probably would have cost them one extra penny to do, but hey, whatever. You know, presentation, just so-so, but the scent itself is pretty good. Next up, one of my favorite cheaper fragrances. It's not as cheap as it used to be, at least here lately. I want to say this at one point was at like $20. Anymore, now I see it at like 30, and then if it's not at 30, it's maybe 35, and if it's not there, maybe it's a bit more, or it's just out of stock. Sometimes it just isn't even at discounters. I think it is back though. Tommy Bahama Saint Barts. Lime, sea salt, tequila are some of the main notes. Smells fantastic. One of my favorite summertime scents. I have said this a bajillion times on this channel, but this is kind of my go-to vacation scent. And I won't even always wear it on skin or on clothing when I go out. One of my favorite things to do with this one is actually to spray my beach towels and spray just the room that we're staying in, or the house that we're renting, or whatever it may be. Just kind of, spray it on the curtains a little bit, spray it on some of the other towels, spray it in the air like an air freshener, just make the place smell like a party, like a mixed drink that was spilled all over the carpet. It's kind of what you can get with this one. It just doesn't last really all that much at all on skin, and sometimes I will want to wear something a bit more kind of luxurious depending on what we're doing, but as kind of a room spray and a towel freshener, this is always in my bag when we go on trips. I really don't like the bottle. I do like this detail, and they are known for doing that, Tommy Bahama, putting rope on their caps. They do it with the maritime bottles as well, so that's cool. The cap is super flimsy, cheap plastic. There are some other Tommy Bahamas with a heavier cap than this, so it's not synonymous with the whole line. They could have done better here, and they didn't. It doesn't matter that much, but hey, that's part of the video. It does click in, you can pick it up there, and you're pretty much good to go. Also the bottle, you get used to it, but when you first get this thing in, especially after not having handled a lot of bottles, this was something I got pretty new on. I was like, okay, how do I spray this? Do I hold it like this? Do I hold it like this? I mean, do I hold it like this? What am I supposed to do? And really, it's however you want to do it. I just kind of go like that usually. You can go like this as well and, hit it there. I don't know, just kind of an odd shape and scenario going on all around here. It kind of is what it is. The scent itself is 10 times better than the presentation, in my opinion. Second to last fragrance, we have Burberry Weekend. Lemon, grapefruit, some other stuff are some of the main notes. There's some sweeter notes, I believe, listed, but really for me, it's all about the two that I just mentioned there. Just kind of a fresh, fruity, citrusy. Atomizer, another stock, standard atomizer. Again, it's a cheaper scent, so yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm not ragging on it too much, but I think that the scent is a lot better than what it is packaged in. And I can actually taste it a little bit. Did not mean to do that, spraying it up in the air. You can get that lemon up top, you get that citrus, vibrant, bright pop, and it's pretty photorealistic. Again, for the price of this one, the opening and just the scent itself smells great. The bottle, for me, just isn't it. I really don't like press fit caps. I just don't, they never hold up. Again, the more you use it, the looser it gets. It'll get to the point, and I've actually had this happen with some Creeds, believe it or not. A niche, luxury, high-end brand like Creed, back before they used the snap-on caps, they had this press fit, and those will loosen up to the point where they just kind of wiggle around and float on top of the bottle. That's like a $400 bottle with a cap that wobbles all over. I just don't like press fits. Anything that's a press fit is going to wear out over time a lot quicker than a snap-on cap will, or even a magnetic cap, which will last forever. I'm not expecting a magnetic cap on something that's $20, but, add a little ring and a groove and it makes it much better. Again, it's not that it's terrible, it's just that I think the scent itself is far better than what it's bottled in. So if this is holding you back, you don't like the look of it, you don't like the press fit, crappy action, at least it smells good. Give it a shot. Alright guys, there you have it. That was me making myself sound like a niche snob for 20 minutes straight. Again, I'm not hating on these. I'm not saying everything needs to have niche presentation. The whole premise of this video is just to kind of illustrate that what matters is on the inside of the bottle, and again, what's on the inside of these bottles is better than what it's packaged in my opinion. I want to hear from you guys like always. Let me know down below what fragrances do you have where the bottle just isn't that great, but the scent is incredible. And if you want to pick up any of these, I will link them all down below to discounters. And I also encourage you to check out my channel memberships if you want any more bonus content. You can see me over there. Join the top tier and chat with me one-on-one in Discord, and we can hang out, that sort of thing. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.